Hello, and welcome to Europa Universalis 4. As you can see, we are on the history timeline. It is 1821. However, this is not a simple spectator review. No. Among these many countries here, one was played by myself. And on on Iron Man mode nonetheless. And it is your job, dear viewer, to figure out which one I am. Perhaps it's obvious, we'll see. But let's get into the gritty action. Oh, there you go, straight away, Castile takes the lowlands. Bohemia cutting into Saxony, Saxony getting taken away. Poland is gripping into the Teutonic lands, no escape for them. Muscovy have done it, they've taken over most of the Novgorodian lands. Novgorod, as usual, will meet its fate soon. Oh, Kazan wiped away, and as you can see, Crimea is taken over by the Great Horde. Not going well for them. Over here we can see Usugi. Usugi is going to become Japan. Shavshaveni up here, taking over some of its tribal rivals. Not much else going on, a rather large Kham. The Mamelukes are taking over most of the Arabian Peninsula. The Ottomans securing their role as the most overpowered nation in this game. Hungary had taken over Bosnia but is forced to release it once again. This will only weaken them and give lands to the Ottomans. Oh, Muscovy is truly destroying its area. Ottomans expanding into Crimea, but will Muscovy be able to push them back out? The Danish up in the oh, is that Danish lands? No, it's Polish. Oh, taken over by Muscovy very quick. Shavshaveni over here, expanding. Looks like they've went for colonist. Yep, definitely colonist ideas. Assam from the previous Kham, who would have thought? Ming, expanding into its own territory there. Oh, the Ottomans have begun their expansion into the Arabian Peninsula. The Timurids. Not yet broken up into their many bits. Oh, Kazakh fighting against a newly formed Russia. There we go. Sweden looks like it's gotten its independence here, growing lightly. England has taken over the Irish island and expanded slightly into Scotland there. And very interesting here, I'll just pause it there. Aragon has managed to pretty much expel Castile. Oh dear, Morocco has expanded, Galicia formed, Portugal a shadow of its former self. Aragon takes over most of these Mediterranean lands here. Milan forming a good spell for itself there. Bohemia expanding. As we can see, the Commonwealth has been split by Russia, the imperialist Russians, and Galicia Volhynia, not a very common one to see, but that has been formed from the ashes here. Very interesting here, we can see the Netherlands here in Utrecht. Utrecht is not one that usually gets any further than a one-province minor. Taking a look over the colonies here, we've got Inca, they're looking as strong as ever, but the British are expanding into Brazil. They've beaten the Portuguese favouring these Venezuelan lands here. The British also quite prominent within the Caribbean and Mexico as well. However, the British do not have any of their 13 colonies lands yet. Very interesting. Going down here we can see the Portuguese have expanded into African lands. Africa not really seeing a dominant country yet. The Mali have expanded, Kenem Bornu. Alodia is looking to destroy Ethiopia and become the Coptic kings of this land. Hormuz and Yemen looking to expand on the Arabian Peninsula, but will they be able to fend off from the Mamluks, from their Persian rivals, or even the Ottomans? The Ottomans expanding, taking over many provinces in the Caucasian region. My dear, Shavshaveni has expanded quite a while. They will meet the Russian imperialist lands soon, and that cannot go well for them, surely. The Ottomans further expanding into Russian land. I don't see how the Russians can hold them off. Oh dear, Shavshaveni and Russia look like they're in a bit of a colonist battle here. This is very interesting. I'm pretty sure Shavshaveni is a tribe. I can only hope they have the tech to forge off against the Russians. Bohemia expanding. Hungary has been disintegrated. Its land's been taken over by the Ottomans and Bohemia. Austria pushing into Lower Germany there. France ever expanding into these countries. Netherlands and Utrecht look fairly similar. England has not yet managed to push Scotland. That's very interesting. Usually they have formed Great Britain by now, but that is not to be. Brandenburg extending into Lauenburg and Saxe-Lauenburg. Lubeck here, as you can see, is expanding beyond its one province minor as it usually is. Very interesting. Jaipur looking to become the dominant force within the Indian Peninsula. Vijayanagar is usually the strongest, but however they have not managed to push past Gujarat and Chanda. Malacca pushing up into Vietnamese and Cambodian lands here. Will they be able to form a strong empire within these oceanic lands? Akh Lu has not yet been taken over by the Ottomans. This is most likely an alliance between the two. However, they may look to push into Ardalan and get some of those Persian lands. Shavshaveni and Russia are looking to be at a bit of a standstill at the moment. Oirat and Mongolia and Nepal, these seem to be the client states of the Ming tributaries. The English have expanded into Mexico. We see the Netherlands are expanding into Florida. The French and the British fighting over these American and Canadian lands. The Portuguese have expanded, and Utrecht begin their colonist ambitions in the northern Brazilish areas. The Brazilish. And down here we've seen Argentine. However, this is actually a Scottish colony. Scotland has managed to live so far in Utrecht in Peru. Scotland managed to live to actually create a colony. Argentine, very interesting. Mali becoming the big dog over in Africa here. Morocco and Tunis surprisingly managed to stay big powers within northern Africa. Oh dear, the Ottomans have pushed into imperialist Russian land, and this is not looking good. The Ottomans probably going to be the biggest power in the world at the moment. Sweden taking away Norway and Shavshaveni. This is a very strange bit of glitch here, but very good, very good. If we go, Shavshaveni has been destroyed by Korea. Most likely Korea is a tributary of Ming at the moment. And even Japan expanding into these areas here. See, Alaska. Actually, it looks like Shavshaveni has created a colonist state over here. Very interesting. Oh, the Netherlands. The Netherlands are pushing in to Central America here. The English conquering most of Mexico and Texas states. Utrecht, Scotland, England and Portugal have claimed Southern America. The Scottish have pushed into the Congo. They beat the Belgians to it. The Ottomans have smashed Alodia, pushing into southern Africa there near enough. Vijayanagar have expanded their empire. They've taken over many lands from Hormuz and expanded in Baluchistan. Oirat, quite a power to behold at the moment. Even Buratia, another tribe, has managed to extend into these previously Shavshavenian lands. Russia's expanded horizons, however, it'll be a big blow losing those lands to the Ottomans. Bohemia seems to have completely wiped out the Commonwealth, and perhaps even formed an alliance with Galicia-Volhynia, considering their presence in Pomerania. What is this? Is this Dithmarschen? I can't even pronounce it. It's so unadmirable. Oh, and it's gone. And it's gone, people. It's gone. The Netherlands even pushing into Germany. Magdeburg is no longer a single province minor. Very into Saxony even reclaiming its former lands. No idea how it managed that. Milan managed to push out Venetian lands, and Aragon still incredibly powerful in these Mediterranean provinces. Scotland still managed to hold on to its homeland. Not something you see very often, but they're sticking in there. As we can see, Japan have pushed into eastern Russian lands. Shavshaveni shattered there. England have a colony in Australia. Some had to be a little bit historically accurate here. British Malaya, Portuguese and Guinea here, and strangely enough, Tonkin. Very rare to see that. Nepal managed to expand. Vijayanagar having a bit of trouble here, probably facing off with Chanda and the Timurid. The Ottomans have crushed it. They've reached down to the Empire of Kilwa here, and it looks like they seem to be the dominant force within the world at the moment. If we go back over to the colonies, it's pretty much Portuguese have showed up on the Californian side. Here on the west, English have taken over most of Mexico. The Dutch expanding in there. Utrecht, Colombia even formed by the Portuguese. Utrecht having a big presence here in South America. Mali, fairly dominant within that Western African area. Russia managed to push down, get completely rid of Kazakh and forming a bit of a border here with the Nepalese. Akwenlu taking out most of those Persian lands, and I think that is the end here. Incredibly interesting game. I must say, some things I've never seen within a Europa Universalis game have occurred, and, well, it's one for the books, is it not? And if you can tell me which country you think I was. It might be easy to guess, it might not be, but you can tell me down in the comments below. I'll see you next time.